Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody. Today is January 17th, 2026. This is a live stream. I really hope everyone is doing well out there this Saturday and enjoying your days. Please hit that thumbs up in the live stream chat if the volume is working so we can get into the info. Hello to Cable X. Hello to Extra Telekinesis. Hello to Coffee Girl. Thank you for that thumbs up as usual. Always gratitude towards you, Coffee Girl. So let's take a minute here and get some people in as usual, and then we'll get started. So how's everyone's day going? Weekend. Hope everyone's relaxing, enjoying their time. Hello to Myron Davis. Hello to Donut Factory in the house. What up, Donut? Hope you're well. Everyone say hi to Donut. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Hello to Myron Davis. Myron, I'm pretty sure this is the Myron. I think it's the Myron. Maybe it is. But yeah, what up to Donut? What up? And also, again, Myron. I'm pretty sure this is Myron who I'd like to also have on the show. He's another great decoder. And Decoding Our Reality also in the house. Another great decoder. Go check out his channel as well. Yeah, he got game. That's who it is. That's what I thought. So, because I kind of wondered if you went under your actual name, he got game, or if you were just going under your real name. But nice to see you in here, brother. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is in here. Not so many people in here yet, but we'll give some time. Full arm more every day. Hello to you. Hello to Enthused Dreams as well. So yeah, guys, again, I have a very limited stream time, so we're going to get pretty fast into this, but I really just wanted to cover this. And before I even get into it, let's give the proper shout outs. Let me take my comments off here. So my new friend over on Reddit, who's really been helping me, put pieces together with Sirius and a plasma apocalypse kind of theme that he follows. Make sure you go over to his Reddit page, someone 4 times, and this is how you can find him on his page. Great decoder. He's the one responsible for putting me onto the trail of this Candace Owens thing. And we're also going to talk about a rap album that was released by A$AP Rocky and how it ties into this theme. So again, make sure you guys go over, check him out. Great decoder, great guy. As you guys can see, this is his page. So hopefully one day we'll get him on here and he'll be able to talk his thing, but we'll see that maybe hopefully one day. So anyways, let's get into it. So he put me on to the trail of Candace Owens, right? So you guys know Candace Owens, right? She is, well, I mean, a lot of people would say she's a controlled opposition. I mean, I can't say for 100% sure, but I mean, it's possible. But she certainly is talking about some interesting things when it comes to Charlie Kirk, and she's talking about a project Looking Glass. And if you guys don't know what that is, I got a little explainer about that, but here is her video from the 14th of January, where she actually shared another video from another YouTube channel called Be Inspired. It's the other YouTube channel. And he had a video called Something Happened in 1999 and It Broke Reality. So in this video, she covers the fact that there was a project Looking Glass, and there was a guy that came out and talked about how somewhere the scientists had found this device that could see to the future. And eventually around 2012 to 2016, all of the timelines converged into one timeline, which was unavoidable. And essentially, that's the timeline that we're in now, right? Now, whether any of this is true or not, I don't know. It's possible. I mean, with the matrix that I expose every day with the numbers, anything is possible. So, I mean, do they have some sort of device that can see into the future? Who knows? But notice that this is Candace Owens' 290th episode. I find that super interesting because tomorrow, me and Derek are going to do a video about Jesus Christ and how we're in the time of Jesus Christ. And I want you guys to notice that the word Christ equals 290. So this is Candace Owens' 290th episode. And Trump was born in Moon Lunation 290. So this 290, I think we'll talk more about tomorrow. But for the sake of time and for this video, we're going to jump right into my slides. Okay. Also, before we even get into the main part of the info, I want to point you guys to two videos I made last year after the Charlie Kirk incident. The first one is called Back to the Future. And again, I connected Charlie Kirk to Back to the Future many months ago, right? And I also connected Candace Owens to King James. I connected Charlie Kirk to King James because Charlie Kirk's name is James or Charles James Kirk, and Kirk means church, right? And King Charles' real name, or sorry, King James, his real name was James Charles Stewart. So if you guys didn't see those videos, go back and watch them. This is all connected to King James. King James on the Bible, right? King James is a very important figure, and that's why we had no King's Day last year. It was connected to Trump, who's Scottish, where King James was from. But again, I did a video here called All the King's Men because Candace Owens had done a video called All the King's Men, which again goes back to King James, okay? So go check out that video. Candace Owens was born 1566 0 days before Trump, which is the year that King James was born, okay? So that's the point. But so again, many months ago, I did a video called Back to the Future, Charlie Kirk, right? So Candace Owens comes out and does a video on the 14th, and she titles it Project Looking Glass. And on the thumbnail, you can see Back to the Future. Look at that. Now, we're not going to talk a lot about Back to the Future in this video. We're going to focus more on the Alice in Wonderland connection, but Alice in Wonderland is connected to Back to the Future. All these movies are connected, guys. They're all connected to the same theme. Notice she has the Matrix movie, right? Follow the White Rabbit, Neo. Remember, Neo is in Dog Star. That connects us back to Sirius. We're not going to talk a lot about Sirius today, but it all does connect to Sirius as usual. But yeah, she uses Back to the Future. And this video called Project Looking Glass was posted on the 128th anniversary of the death of Lewis Carroll. Oh my goodness. I mean, how much more obvious? That almost proves to you that she's aware of when she's posting this video. I mean, how do you not know? I mean, maybe she did it organically. Maybe she did it organically. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. But it's really crazy. She posted this video called Project Looking Glass on Lewis Carroll's death anniversary. And she's talking about the death of Charles James Kirk. Now, what was the name? What was the name of Lewis Carroll? Charles, guys. Look, Charles. This is why this connects. It's all about Charles, okay? How many times last year did I talk about Charles? And again, Charles James Kirk, King James's name is James Charles, and now you got Lewis Carroll, whose name is Charles, okay? And this is the 128th anniversary of his death, right? Well, on the clock, right? We're talking about time travel. On the clock, an hour and 28 minutes, like 128, is 88 minutes. Now, remember, she has the Back to the Future on her thumbnail, and the dog, and shout out to Sean, Widow's son, who's in the chat. He mentions the name Dog Son, like his last name literally looks like Dog Son. It's kind of like a play on the word dog son, right? So here's your serious connection again. Of course, his last name is Dog Shun, like almost looks like Dodgers. But anyway, guys, what are the odds? 128th year anniversary, an hour and 28 minutes is 88 minutes. Back to the Future, you need to go 88 miles per hour to travel through time. And again, on the clock, 1 hour and 28 minutes is 88 minutes. Okay. So that's the only time I'm going to talk about. That's the only time I'm going to talk about Back to the Future, but we're going to talk about the other connection first. So she talks about Project Looking Glass. Now, let me just go over what that is first. Project Looking Glass is a conspiracy theory, claims the U.S. government possesses a top secret device capable of viewing future events or alternate timelines. Adherents allege this technology was reverse engineered from recovered extraterrestrial artifacts or ancient Sumerian stargates. Time viewing technology. The central claim is that the device uses a chronovisor or a series of rings and water-based lenses to peer through time and space. The 2012 convergence. One popular narrative championed by self-proclaimed whistleblower Bill Wood, aka Bill Brockbrader, alleges that the device showed all future timelines converging into a single unchangeable outcome around late 2012, which theorists link to a spiritual awakening or an averted apocalypse. So let's stop there, guys. An awakening. How many times have I talked about an awakening, a revelation? So supposedly this looking glass device pointed us to a revelation or an awakening, all converging, all the timelines around 2012. Okay. Remember that was the time of the Mayan calendar ending. Remember the world was supposed to end on 12/21/2012. Believers suggest that using the looking glass device cause shifts in reality or timeline glitches, resulting in a collective false memories. So basically the false memories like that of like the what's that called? What's the name of that thing where something changes and you thought it was one thing and it's not the same thing? What's that called again? I just blinked on my mind. If anyone in the chat can help me with that, please drop it in the chat. QAnon and future proves past. Proponents of QAnon movement often cite the phrase future proves past. The Mandela effect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Mandela effect. As evidence that a military group often called the White Hats is using looking glass technology to stay ahead of the cabal. Okay. First of all, I don't really believe any of this. I don't believe in any of the QAnon stuff. It's all just a controlled opposition, in my opinion. I don't know what it is, but interesting that they call them the White Hats, okay? Because this is all going to connect to the Mad Hatter and Alice in Wonderland. So that's Project Looking Glass, okay? So here's the two events we're going to connect right here in this video, right? Again, Candace Owens posting Project Looking Glass on the 14th, and the album ASAP Rocky, a rapper, released his new album on the 16th, okay? The album is called Don't Be Dumb, okay? It's an interesting name for the album because a lot of people are calling Candace Owens essentially dumb for even asserting that Charlie Kirk is a time traveler. She says Charlie Kirk is in her dreams and that he wrote to her that he's been watched from the day he was a little boy by agents. And that Charlie Kirk said he was a time traveler to her, all this stuff, right? And so again, ASAP Rocky, he says, don't be dumb, right? Notice that it's kind of reminds you of a rabbit hole. You kind of have this hole here, almost like saying, don't go down the rabbit hole. You guys see how it's X'd off here? Don't be dumb and go down the rabbit hole is what I kind of getting from this. And you guys might be like, Cody, okay, these two things happen 2 days apart. How can you just tie them together randomly? Well, I'm going to show you how they're tied together. And it's going to be pretty clear, I hope. But this is kind of my theory with this album cover is don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't take the red pill like Neo in the Matrix. Don't be dumb, right? I I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but who knows? So here's the connection, guys. Here's the connection between Candace Owens and Alice in Wonderland, Looking Glass, and ASAP Rocky's album, Don't Be Dumb. Okay? Check this out. The most recent Alice in Wonderland movies, especially one called Alice Through the Looking Glass, was released by Tim Burton Productions. Tim Burton. Okay, well, who did the cover art for ASAP Rocky's album? Look at this. Tim Burton. Are you kidding me? I didn't even find this until the vet. I found all the numbers and all the connections, and then I figured out that, wait, Tim Burton did the album cover for ASAP Rocky. Are you kidding me? And Tim Burton did the latest movie, Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. Yeah, ASAP Rocky's birthday is the day that Donnie Darko meets Frank the Rabbit. That is another amazing addition that I was going to talk about. But Sean, amazing addition. Thank you for reminding me, because I knew that was the birthday. So in Donnie Darko, the rabbit, right? The white rabbit down the rabbit hole. Donnie Darko meets the rabbit on 10/3/88. That is ASAP Rocky's birthday. Okay. ASAP Rocky's birthday is the exact same day. Okay. But anyway, well, maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Tim Burton did Alice in Wonderland, and he also did the cover art for ASAP Rocky's album that just released. Okay. So that's the connection without numbers. Okay. So in this video, we're going to cover two main numbers, and we're going to use it's all going to be about Freemasonry. Okay. Freemasonry. Okay. In Freemasonry, in gematria, okay? Remember, on this channel, we use gematria. It's taking letters, turning them into numerical values, right? In Freemasonry, there is the rule of Colel. Now, what is the rule of Colel? Let me read this so you guys understand how we're using this. The Kabbalistic rule of Colel states that one digit can be added to or subtracted from the gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems in modern ears to be a cheat. However, the Kabbalists explained the rule by pointing out that for them, one was not a number. The monad symbolizes the divinity and can come and go as he pleased, adding nothing and taking nothing away. Shakespeare refers to this concept in his sonnets when he writes, "Among a number one is reckoned none." The word kolel seems to derive from the Hebrew KLL, to make perfect or whole. The rule of kolel was described by Moses Cordovo in Pardo's Rimino, written in 1549, later published in Krakow in 1592. A more modern reference to the rule is in John Michel's City of Revelation in 1972. So anyways, this is all about when you have a number, a gematria value, you can add or subtract the number one from the value, because it can come and go as it pleases. It can add or subtract as it pleases. So in this decode, we are going to use the rule of Colel, and we are going to investigate two numbers, mainly number 105 and +1, which is 106. Or if you want to say it this way, 106 minus 1 is 105. So these two numbers, okay? Now I want you guys to first observe that the name Alice sums to 105 in reverse gematria, 105, okay? Now I want you guys to also observe that the big number in Alice in Wonderland is on the hat of the Mad Hatter. And I don't know if you guys can read that or not, but on his hat, it says 106, 10-6. Okay, so here's your two numbers. It's your exoteric 106 on the Mad Hatter's hat, and he's across the table from Alice. Alice equals 105. Maybe the rabbit is like the one in the middle. I don't know. Possibly the rabbit is the one in the middle. I don't know. Maybe there's symbolism there. So there's your 106, 105 connection to start, okay? Now let's show how Candace Owens posted this video perfectly in line with the 105, which I just explained to you is the gematria of Alice. Now let's look at this. But before we do that, I want you guys to know that in gematria, the word masonry equals 105, okay? Now, this book was released in London, England, Alice Adventures in Wonderland, okay? Now check this out. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland equals 105 in Chaldean, and the name of the lodge in London that was founded on June 24, 1717 is called the Premier Grand Lodge of London. It equals 105 in the same cipher as Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Okay. Now look at this. How can we make an exoteric, clear connection between Alice in Wonderland and Masonry? Check this out. You guys know Masonry is all about the checkerboard. What is Alice in Wonderland all about? Check it right here in the photos, guys. Checkerboard. The white rabbit. Initiation. The white rabbit initiates Alice into the Wonderland, okay? He takes her into the Wonderland. He's the initiator in Masonry, okay? Just like Masonry equals 105, Alice equals 105, okay? This is the key number here. And again, 106 is essentially 105 in this practice because we're using the rule of Colel, where the number 1 can come and go as it pleases. Just like the rabbit can come and go through time as it pleases. So here you have the checkerboard floor, and you have the rabbit going down the rabbit hole, right? Now check this out. We're going to use the base 4 ciphers of Gematria to break this apart. She's making a video titled Through the Looking Glass, right? Or Project Looking Glass. Guys, what do you think that sums to? Oh, it just happens to sum to 105. Now, this whole video is about Charlie Kirk, of course. Well, what does Charlie Kirk equal? Charlie Kirk equals 105, okay? Charlie Kirk equals Masonry, okay? But what are the odds? She names it Project Looking Glass 105. Charlie Kirk, the video. Guys, she posted this 105 days before her birthday. Are you kidding me? She posted this 105 days before her birthday. This is the number I've laid out to you that is important to this whole thing. And that's how many days she posted it before her future birthday, like looking into the future. You guys get it? Back to the future. She's posting a video that says future. You need to look into the future to her birthday, and you see 105, okay? Alice 105, Charlie Kirk 105, Project Looking Glass 105. The last Alice in Wonderland movie called Alice Through the Looking Glass was released on 10/5 in London, which is where all this goes back to. It goes back to the London Lodge in England. But guys, so you're telling me even the last movie from Alice in Wonderland was released on 10/5? And let's make it one more. The number 105 is the 14th triangular number. And she posted this on the 14th day of the year. Are you kidding me? So even the 14th day of the year, right? The 14th day of the year is connected to the 105. 105 is the 14th triangular number. What are the odds? So you guys see how all this is perfect? This was also posted, again, on Lewis Carroll's death anniversary. So he died on the 14th day of the year. And that's, again, 105 is the 14th triangular number. Again, Alice equals 105. Okay. Now we move to the next number, 106. We're going to use the rule of Colel again, right? 105 plus 1 is 106. 106 minus 1 is 105. So now we're going to move to the 106. We have the 106 on the hat, okay? So if you add the date from when she posted this to her next birthday, it's 106 days. So if you don't add the date, if you don't add the number 1, like the monad, you get 105 days before her birthday, which I just explained. But if you do add the date, you get 106. Again, this is the rule of Colel again. And what is the number on the Mad Hatter's hat? 106. Check out this. Now, when you're looking into the future, you can call that prophecy, right? Check out the word prophecy. 106, like the word looking, like looking into the future. Looking glass. Prophecy, both 106, okay? You look into the future from this video that she posts, and you land on her birthday 106 days later. You look 106 days later, you land on her birthday. Okay? Prophecy. Now let's go to ASAP Rocky. Remember, Tim Burton did the album cover for this album that came out 2 days after Candace Owens posted this video, right? I told you we're going to look at these two incidents, right? So guess how many days ASAP Rocky posted his video or released his album after his birthday? Do you guys see what I'm showing you here? Give me some mind blowns in the chat. I just explained how Candace Owens released this video 105 days before her birthday, or 106. ASAP Rocky released his album 105 days after his birthday, or if you add the date, it's 106. Now, in gematria, we know the 106 is connected to Black Lives Matter equals 106, Black 106, Prophecy 106. But check this out. The name of the album is ASAP Rocky Don't Be Dumb. Guys, it equals 106. Now check out the last song on his album, guys. Look at this. It's called The End. Look at that. The End equals 106. So the ASAP Rocky Don't Be Dumb equals 106. The last song on the album, The End, equals 106. It was 106 days after his birthday, guys. And that's the name of the album, it equals 106. All right, so no matter how you look at it, you have the same theme going here. But let's check out the lyrics and look at how this is what's crazy, guys. So first of all, he mentions this is the lyrics to his song. This is the way the world ends. He keeps repeating it. Notice that the first singer on the album, on the song, is Will I Am. I've been talking a lot about the I Am. Will I Am. But look at what he says here. Let me just read the lyrics. Don't trip, keep calm, carry on now, even though the wicked ones built the bomb now. Heard the stick-up kids want to burn the sun down. Go sick pigs in the ghetto bucking us down. Dystopian yesterday done now. Christians waiting for Christ to come down. Guys, I just told you that we're going to do a video tomorrow about this whole time is about Jesus Christ. The video she posted is episode 290. Well, 290 is the gematria of Christ. All right. And now ASAP Rocky has posted in his song, Christians waiting for Christ to come down. More money, more problems, no solutions found. Can't get them to mask up, robbers in town. I saw the Bible upside down today. Guys, think about this. The upside down, the whole thing is about going upside down. Alice in Wonderland, she falls into, just like we just had Stranger Things, and the upside down. He says he saw the Bible upside down today. And then he says the only King James they know is 2K. All right, so here's your King James reference. I did a whole video. Again, go back and watch this video, guys. I did a whole video connecting Charlie Kirk to King James and Candace Owens to King James. Okay, these two videos. Go back and watch my old content. I talked about King James so much. Of course, King James Bible, the last chapter, the end of the book is Revelation, okay? But look at the last lyrics. It's sung by a woman. So think about the symbolism here. We're talking about Alice in Wonderland. The first two singers on this song called The End, which I already showed to you, equals 106, like the days after his birthday. It's sung by a girl. This is to represent Alice. Now let's see what Alice says. Preachers got nothing to preach. Teachers got nothing to teach. No kids play in the streets. No smiles showing their teeth. No books for them to read. We're all stuck in our screens. Screens, guys, glass. The looking glass is our screens. Now look at the lyrics that ends the song. This is how they end the song. It uses the word look. Notice how the first lyrics for the chorus were "this is the way the world ends," but the last chorus is all about looking. Guys, the looking glass. Why did they change the last lyric of the chorus to look? And why is it the woman, Alice, Jessica Pratt? You guys get the symbolism here? Raise your hand in the chat if you guys get it. Jessica represents the woman, represents Alice, and looking through the looking glass. And she's saying, look at the way the world ends. Remember, Donnie Darko sees the rabbit and he says, this is when the world will end. Okay, we already talked about that a little bit in the beginning. But look at the gematria of the phrase, guys. This proves it. Look at the way the world ends equals 105. Are you kidding me? The number that I pretty much set up in this whole decode. Alice 105, Charlie Kirk 105, Project Looking Glass 105. And you're telling me that the last line of the song, which features the word look, like looking glass, it sums to 105. And again, let's see what the name Jessica Pratt equals. Just look at this. Watch. Are you kidding me? Jessica Pratt even equals looking glass. 141. Why is that significant, guys? Because the number 141 is the 106 composite number, getting us right back to the 106. Are you kidding me? And what was the date of the video being released, guys? 14/1. In England, they write the date 14/1. What was the date of Lewis Carroll's death? It was 14/1. What is the full gematria of the Premier Grand Lodge of London? It equals 141. Again, 141 is the 106 composite. That takes us all the way back to the 106, 105. So the 141 connects mathematically to the 106, which is on the Mad Hatter's hat. Okay? And again, A$AP Rocky released his song 106 days after his birthday. The end equals 106. And the last lyrics of the song are sung by Jessica Pratt, who equals 141 like looking glass, and 141 is the 106 composite number. I mean, how much more perfect does it get? The video was even released on 14/1. Okay? So that connects to the 106. I mean, what I'm showing you is so perfectly pieced together, guys, and I hope I did a good job of piecing it together because I'm pretty sure I did. But let's connect A$AP Rocky to the Grand Premier Lodge of England. Look at this, guys. Shout out to Gematinator for actually breaking this to me. Look at the age of A$AP Rocky on his album. He released it on 16/1. Why does 161 matter now? Now, I know I'm changing it up on you guys, but why does 161 matter? Because 161 is the spiral. It's the golden ratio. Now, check out Candace Owens' video she shows. It's the spiral, guys. It's the golden ratio, 161. I've talked about this before. The 161 golden ratio is the spiral of Alice falling into Wonderland. This is Candace Owens going down the rabbit hole, spiraling into Wonderland. And again, A$AP Rocky, he releases his album on 16/1. Look how old he was, guys. 13,619 days. That's the 1610 prime number. And look at how old the Grand Premier Lodge of England was on the same day that A$AP Rocky was 1610 prime days old. The Grand Lodge was 161001. Are you kidding me? So on the same day, on 161, these two people that I just tied together had the same number. Like, I'm speechless. The Grand Lodge. We're talking about 1717, guys, measuring to the album 16100 weeks. And ASAP Rocky was 1610 prime days old. And notice the 1611. Again, this is the rule of Colel. The one can come and go as it pleases, right? The one added. Now that means that's 1611. If you take out the zeros, you get 1611. Well, what does it mention? What does he mention in his song? He mentions King James. Now, who is on the King James Bible? What's the number on there? 1611. Okay, so the Grand Lodge was 1611, like 1611. Yeah, so 114 was 161. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. That is the spiral of the golden ratio into Wonderland. Okay, this is the fall of Satan, the rabbit taking you into Wonderland, the fall of Adam and Eve after eating the fruit. Think about how Alice goes into Wonderland. She eats some, or she follows the rabbit down and then she eats something, right? And even if you look up the meaning of Alice in Wonderland, it even says right here. Also, another way to connect this, the term Lewis, like Lewis Carroll, is interestingly connected to Freemasonry because the son of a Mason is called a Lewis. Huh. How perfect, right? A son of a Mason is called a Lewis. Lewis Carroll, Charles Carroll Lewis, right? But there's the checkerboard floor, right, which is in Alice in Wonderland. There's the journey of initiation. Scholars have linked Alice's fall down the rabbit hole, her subsequent trials, as an initiation journey, an allegory as the soul's evolution. Okay, our souls get trapped down here in these bodies, and we have to wake up, guys. Awakening, revelation of Jesus Christ down here, man. That's what we need. What else was I gonna say? So Lewis Carroll was heavily influenced by biblical stories like the fall of Adam and Eve, okay? The fall down the rabbit hole when Eve eats the apple. So Alice is Eve, guys. Alice represents Eve eating the apple and going down the hole, right? The snake is the bunny in this aspect. The bunny leads her down the hole, and the snake is the one in the Bible who did it. It's the same story, guys. It's the same story. It's just that the bunny has become the sly one now, taking you down the hole, right? So that's the same story. It's all the same stories used over and over again, just different characters. You know, like there's so much, but again, what I'm saying here is that what are the odds? ASAP Rocky was 1610 prime days, just like the Lodge, right? Now let's connect these two characters real fast. Again, we're going to get away from the 106 and 105 now, but look at this. ASAP Rocky released his album 209 days before the big eclipse this year, which is the gematria of his album. ASAP Rocky Don't Be Dumb equals 209. He released it 209 days before this big eclipse, this solar eclipse on August 12th. Well, look how many days ASAP Rocky and Candace Owens were born apart. 209. But what's the gematria of the original title of the book by Lewis Carroll? It's called Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There. Guys, what's the odds that that equals 209? Are you kidding me that these two characters I just decoded with Alice in Wonderland are born 209 days apart, and the full title of the book equals 209? And again, his album equals 209 that he just released. And again, he released it 209 days before the eclipse, which is the same amount of days he's born before Candace Owens. Like, this slide is pretty crazy. If you guys really think about this slide, this is super crazy. Okay. Now, one last thing. We're going to look into the future. Remember, I told you this is all about King James Bible, 1611. Okay. So ASAP Rocky will turn 1611 prime days old on January 24th. And again, in his song, he mentions the King James, right? The Bible upside down. And he will be turning 1611 prime days on this date. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying something's gonna happen to him on that day, but I'm just saying watch out for something to connect to this on the 24th, because that's when he will turn that age. Okay. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Is this not pretty crazy? With all the 105s. Yeah, to me, this is pretty wild. And again, at the beginning, I was like, am I crazy for connecting this video with ASAP Rocky? And then it became pretty clear that this was connected, right? Especially, Tim Burton, which I didn't even get time to look into Tim Burton. So if anyone wants to look into Tim Burton, then you guys can. But again, he did the artwork for ASAP Rocky's album. He also did the movie Alice Through the Looking Glass. So yeah, but it's even so more obvious that she posted this on Lewis Carroll's death anniversary. I mean, come on now. And again, Charles James Kirk. Let's just type in Charles James Kirk and just show you how it equals Alice in Wonderland. So you guys see how it equals 163. Charles James Kirk equals Alice in Wonderland. So of course she's going to be talking about Alice in Wonderland connecting to Charlie Kirk. Again, this all connects back to the King James Bible. I'm not going to go into all that, but if you guys want to watch my old videos, right? I talked about that, right? And remember, we're going to have LeBron James this year. Shout out to Myron from He Got Game. He's been talking about LeBron James, King James in the NBA. He's gonna probably reach 1611. Also, I think I saw my buddy also in here, AJ. He also been talking about that. So we've been talking about the 1611, how important that is this year. And it just so happens that ASAP Rocky is going to be 1611 prime days on the 24th. So definitely a day to watch, in my opinion, for something. Again, I'm not predicting something will happen to him or anything. So let me jump into the chat. Let me take some comments, and then we're going to wrap this up real quick, okay? Because I don't have so much stream time left this month. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland does equal 1776 in gematria. Yes, it does. Yeah, you guys have to go back and check out all my old material on Charlie Kirk. I mean, it does seem like Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. Think about all the Snake Eye stuff that happened. I mean, you could be very easy to think that he was a time traveler. Supposedly, Charlie Kirk told Candace Owens that he was a time traveler. Okay. And again, if you guys want to go watch this video, you can. It's this guy also is the other guy that she showed this video of, this guy called Be Inspired. I haven't watched his video yet, but definitely interesting. And another shout out to my buddy, someone who put me onto these things. So make sure you guys head over to his Reddit and check him out. We're going to delete some pages here. Also, in connection to the 106th NFL season, I forgot about that, guys. We're coming up on the end of the 106th NFL season, which is going to end In San Francisco. Okay. Well, San Francisco has the Golden Gate Bridge. When was the Alice in Wonderland movie? Let me find it. Hold on. Here's Tim Burton. Again, he's connected to this super heavily because he also did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is essentially, think about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, guys. It's essentially the same thing. They go into this factory, which is the Wonderland, and they have to make it through all these trials, right? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is literally the same story as Alice in Wonderland, okay? It just features Charlie, right? Well, what how does that connect? Because we're talking about Charlie Kirk, okay? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, again, it's the same story as Alice in Wonderland, just with a boy instead of Alice, okay? And that's why it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And Johnny Depp, he's in all these movies. So something up with Johnny Depp. I'm not going to get into that now, but um let me just pull up the movie Alice and Alice Through the Looking Glass so I can show you the release date. So this came out in the United States on May 27th. Why is that interesting? Because May 27th is the anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge. So again, we have this Golden Gate Bridge connection to the release of Alice Through the Looking Glass. Okay, and again, the 106th NFL season is going to come to an end in the Super Bowl coming up. Okay, we're going to have some videos about the Super Bowl coming in the coming weeks, of course. We're going to be covering that a lot on the channel. But yeah, I really wanted to make that point about this movie coming out on the anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge. And we just had Stranger Things. Let me just make this point. Stranger Things, Alice in Wonderland. So in the recently released Stranger Things, you had the bad guy being the White Rabbit or being Vecna, who leads the little girl down into reality. She's even dressed like Alice, right? This is Stranger Things, guys. This is not Alice in Wonderland. This is literally Stranger Things. And here is the Mad Hatter, Mad Max in the Stranger Things. She represents the Mad Hatter, okay? Let me see if I can pull up this post of this. Yeah, that's a video, guys. I don't want that. I don't want that. Let me see. Stranger Things features numerous deliberate parallels to Alice in Wonderland, particularly in the final season. The creators have confirmed that the classic story serves as significant literary inspiration for the narrative arc of Holly Wheeler in The Upside Down. Remember, in the song by A$AP Rocky, he mentions the Upside Down Bible. This is going into the Upside Down, right? Holly Wheeler is Alice in season 5. Holly is wearing the blue and white dress, reminiscent of Disney's Alice character. She falls down the rabbit hole, and she meets Henry, who's Vecna, the bad guy, who is the White Rabbit. But while she's down there, she meets Max Mayfield, who's already been captured, who is essentially the Mad Hatter, right? And in the Stranger Things, the sister of the bad guy, Creel, Vecna, is his sister's name is Alice. So yeah, I mean, there's just so many parallels to this, and I just got done talking about Stranger Things over and over and over again, and we just had Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the girl who plays 11 in the show, her first role, if you go to Millie Bobby Brown, of course, you guys know who this is. This is 11, right? In the movie. If you go look at Millie Bobby Brown's acting history, check out her first role. Look at her first role, guys. I mean, this is so obvious. Brown made her acting debut as a guest on ABC fantasy drama series Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. So she literally played Alice, little Alice, in her first role ever in films as Alice. I mean, the whole Stranger Things is Alice in Wonderland as well. I think every story, 100%, not every story, but a lot of the stories that they tell are just different forms of Alice in Wonderland. I already told you Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, another form of Alice in Wonderland, Stranger Things, um, The Matrix. I mean, they even use the White Rabbit in the Matrix movie. He goes into the Matrix. That's the rabbit hole. That's Wonderland. Every story is a kind of a playoff of this story, right? I just wanted to see what the gematria of this is. I mean, I could talk a lot about the 130. That's the upside down. But I just wanted to check it, guys. I'm not going to go into another spiel. I only have a few minutes left here. But yeah, make sure you guys go check out all the videos. Go support all the great channels. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to support the channel, please hit that like button. Guys, we have 196 people and 108 likes. So if you guys did enjoy the content before you leave, please hit that like button if you enjoyed. If not, you don't have to hit the like button. But that helps the video get to more people because I think this video is worth sharing to some people, right? And oh, look at this. Somebody says, oh, no way. No way. No way. John Christopher Depp II equals 106. Guys, are you kidding me? Johnny Depp, the guy who plays in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and in Alice in Wonderland. Look at his name, guys. 106. The number I talked about. Oh, he's got the 322. Oh, my goodness. He's got the 128. I told you this video by Candace Owens was posted on the 128th death anniversary of Lewis Carroll. Bridge collapse. This is all about a bridge collapse, too. 128. Okay, we know how big that number is. But John Christopher Depp II, 106. How perfect. I mean, again, just for those just getting in, how many times did I talk about the number 106 in this decode? Right? So yeah, we just find out that he equals 106. Let's see what his actual name equals. Johnny Depp equals 127, which is, I could say something about that as well. But I mean, Charlie Kirk died at 31, 127 is the 31st prime. I need to look more into Johnny Depp, of course. I feel like I could probably do a whole video breaking down Johnny Depp's movies and stuff. But again, he's in always weird movies. He was in that movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Thanks to Apache Ghost, the Snake Eyes Connection, yes. Thank you to Sojourn for supporting the channel and asking people to hit the like button. Thank you to Donut Factory, who is still in here, and I appreciate you watching, brother. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys head on over to the also Donut Factory. I know that Sojourn, who's one of my subscribers, I don't know if I don't think you meant to block Sojourn, but yeah, it's that's weird. Donut says that the YouTube is showing you're not blocked. I mean, I don't know what happens with YouTube sometimes. Sojourn, I don't think Donut has anything out for you. I think there's something going on with YouTube. But that's weird because I've been blocked from channels. Guys, I've been blocked from I've been on channels where my comments don't show and I'm not blocked. So sometimes YouTube does not show your comments. Anyways, hopefully we can get that figured out for you, Sojourn. But thank you, Donut, for looking into that as well. Because Sojourn is always on here and a great supporter. I wouldn't want to block Sojourn. Yeah, so let's end this, guys. We're at 56 minutes. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your evening. And I'll be back tomorrow with the decode on the Christ stuff that's going on with Derek from Gematrinator. And somebody's asking me to decode the Iran stuff. I'll have an Iran thing decode up, I guess, in the coming week or so, maybe. Anyways, have a good night, everyone. Much love to you all, and God bless.